So the first thing I'm going to be using is this Benefit Pore Professional, and just going to be using this in the more oily, larger pored parts of my face. I only need about that much. Okay, now that my primer is set, I'm going to be taking this Rimmel London Stay Matte Liquid Foundation Mousse in Light Porcelain. And I found of all the ways that I apply this, my fingers seems to give me the best texture, so that's what I'm going to do. And I'm only going to use just a tiny wee little bit on the back of my hand and work with that. Because a little bit of this goes a long way. I like to do my face in sections. What I actually really love about this foundation is it's almost got the opacity of a concealer, so that's why a little bit will go a long way, whatever you do with it. The only thing I don't like about this is that it's a little bit pinker than me, but because it's pink, it looks more porcelain, whereas the more yellow tinted ivory foundations do not translate as pale enough. They give off an orange feel for someone who's as pale as me. Next, if I need a little bit of coverage on acne in some places, I'll take the Maybelline Superstay Concealer. I really like this one. It seems to really stay put. What I don't like though is it's still not truly pale enough for me, so I really have to blend it out when I work with it. Now I'm taking my Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer and I'm going to be putting that on my lids. Now we can finally work with that Pro palette, and I'm going to be taking the shade Taupe first, and I'm going to be using a blending brush. I'm going to apply a wash of that all over my lids, focusing on the outer corner. Now with a different blending brush, I'll be taking the shade Mauve and we'll be applying that above the crease to blend it out. And then we're going to drag it out a little bit to the furthest corner of the eye. Now using a tapered blending brush, I'm taking the shade Light Pink and I'm going to be blending that out on the brow bone. Alright, next I'm going to be taking this ultra small shader crease brush and I'm going to be going in with the shade Sable. And I'm going to be taking the brush at an angle and working that sable on the outer corner of my eye. And then bringing it inward. Now I'm going to take my first brush with that original taupe and blend this all inward. Now I'm going to lightly mix together the shade White and Cream and highlight the brow bone. Now before I proceed any further, I'm going to go ahead and put on my eyebrows using the NYX Automatic Eyebrow Pencil in the shade Light Brown. Alright, so before I continue even further with my eyes, I'm going to put on my Covergirl and Olay Simply Ageless Concealer in 205, the very fairest color, underneath my eyes. This is no longer continued in stores, and what they put in to replace it is not very good, but I was able to find this at like a wholesale retail store for $3. And I praised the Lord. Now I'm going to go ahead and set that with my Revlon Color Stay Powder Foundation. just to get a light matte finish. Next, I'm going to be going back into mauve with this little bitty smudge brush, and I'm going to be applying that under the eyes. And I'm just going to go about halfway in, maybe a little further, and connect it out here to the back shadow. Alright, now that our entire eye look is matte, I'm going to be taking this e.l.f. Long Lasting Eyeshadow in this white pearl shade, and I'm going to be applying that to the inner tear duct of the eyes. And it's going to really light it up. It look beautiful. Now that I've finished applying that cream shadow, I'm just going to put the shade Nude, just to add a little additional champagne shimmer on top of it. And I'm going to blend that partially out on the lid. Now that we have that blended out, I'm going to be taking the Essence Long Lasting Pencil in the shade Hot Chocolate and just smudging that along the upper lash line. Here I'm going in to smudge it with a brush and thin it out in the front. Now I'm just going to be using Maybelline's Illegal Length Mascara and waterproof. This has just been my go-to thing lately. And I'm going to build this up a ton because that's what I've been doing lately, and now that I've got like a knack for it, it really works and it looks like false lashes. So I'm just going to wiggle. I'm going to be taking the Milani blush in, I think, Dolce or Dolce pink. I have no idea how that's pronounced for sure, but I think we'll all be okay if I didn't do it right. And now, since the camera flattens your face a little bit, I'm going to be taking my Pixie bronzer that I got in an Ipsy Glam bag and a contour brush, and I'm going to be adding a little dimension in places where it looks good. Alright, and finally I've taken the Urban Decay Revolution lipstick in the shade Native, and I've already gone ahead and applied that to my lips. Here you can see it's just a nice pale pink. This might be too pale for some people, and some days it even is for me. That's why I had to amp up the eyes a little bit. But if you want a little bit more color, you could try a gloss over it. I personally like the NYX Butter Gloss in Creme Brulee. So I'm just going to apply that over top in the middle. Alright, so this has been my finished look, getting ready with me. I hope you guys liked it, and I'm excited for the new Lorac Pro Palette 2 to be coming out, so that's why I thought to use this today. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and let me know how you liked it. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you later. Bye!